Welcome to another episode of the Guy Code. I am Ren Oswerena. Guys, a quick announcement. Google Podcasts will no longer be available from the year 2024, mid-2024. Google Podcasts as a platform will no longer be available. So I just want to tell all my subscribers who are listening to me via Google Podcasts, just check up my main Anchor FM Guy Code Byron Osore channel, and you'll find all the other podcasting platforms I will continue to be on. Now, getting right into it, guys, on this episode, I'll be talking about the dating landscape in Nairobi. A quick snippet, guys, I just want to share is the best places to find high quality feminine women in Nairobi. From my experience is number one, plays. Go anywhere where they are showcasing a stage play, especially if it is a cultural one. You know, the Kikuyu plays, the Kalenjin plays, all the cultural tribal plays. You will get several high quality feminine women, conservative feminine women. Other places you may find a little bit more liberal but feminine women is decent and tasteful dance classes. Also, you will find them at baking exposés and expos. Also, you will find them at the newly established skate park and ski rink. This is just a teaser for you guys that will break down why these places are the best. Now, the first point I want to talk about when it comes to the dating landscape in Nairobi is as far as adulthood. Now, I understand most of my listenership, the demographic is from the campus age all the way to early adulthood, which is, or mid-adulthood, let's say heading towards 30. Now, my average listener is about 23, 24 years old, a young man, young woman, some young women. And I just want to tell them that women in their early adulthood will be in their prime and very valuable, right? So what I've observed and what I experienced also is that when I was 21, 22, the experiences and the places I used to often visit and be a patron of are not, or currently will not be the same places a 22 or 23-year-old lady will visit, especially right now. Right now, these two individuals, a 23-year-old man in Nairobi and a 23-year-old woman in Nairobi, most often will have a different experience of where they usually visit, because I've realized young ladies are doing brunch just like their middle-aged, highly established career women, you know. They want to go to Miso for brunch or dinner or have those girl dates, whatever. The experience in those places whereby most men will not experience those places, because as a guy, the likelihood that you'll want to watch your favorite team play at a Japanese or a teriyaki place that could be 5-star is minimal. You just want the good brotherhood, the good camaraderie, that you can enjoy the game with good company. You don't need a 3-course or 4-course 4-course meal serving establishment to enjoy that kind of company. However, women and young ladies want that. They want to visit places whereby they get good cocktails and things of that nature. And that's just how it is right now, because a lady in 23, 22 who is in their prime, and many individuals and most of society will want to be around such an individual, such a lady, because she's coming into herself, she's radiating, she's radiating the youth, she's blooming, and guys want to be associated and be around that phenomena as it is happening. So they'll keep taking these ladies to places whereby they can radiate that energy, which is the restaurants, the luxurious places, the luxurious events, the road trips, just to see this kind of femininity and the youthfulness, radiance just shine, because it is inspiring for everyone, and which is understandable. So most women in their early 20s, that is where an average people begin to date. There are very few who actually start dating while in their teenage years, but most of the ladies who are in their early 20s and are coming into themselves and have all this attention from people who enjoy looking and watching these ladies come into themselves and grow and bloom and blossom to beautiful young women, they will want to invest and expose them to different areas and settings whereby they can radiate and enjoy that kind of feminine radiance. So that is what's going to happen, guys. So don't be alarmed or don't be confused. How come I want to take a lady out and she seems to know all the best, high caliber restaurants, and you have never visited any of those places? Some of these places you've never even heard of. Well, why would you hear about them? Number one, those are not the kind of places you would normally frequent by yourself or with your boys. And you don't have, normally on average, you don't have people who will want to just take you there for their company, You never hear of, hey bro, show up to this new place that is serving, I don't know, South Korean cuisine, and let's have dinner. That's not the kind of thing that we usually have in Nairobi. So first thing we need to understand that the experiences will be different, and you're dealing with ladies who have mostly, more often than not, experienced different establishments. The places that you might choose to go out with and just pick to go out with, they have experienced most of the niche places. So that's number one. Number two, you will need to understand that women are like cats, right? Women are like cats. What do I mean by that? What do we mean by that is that they will come to you, they will present themselves to you, they get close to you, and just retract and pull away at their convenience, right? These are ladies who are very intuitive. They're in a season where they just want to flow with their intuition, to flow with their emotion, to just go with the vibe, right? Whatever feels good in the moment, they'll want to do it because they want to be happy, right? It's very few ladies between the ages of 19 and 24 who are going about their business with a sense of duty that I have to do this, and this. No, they just want to be happy, and they will do what makes them happy in each moment, right? And that's just how it is. For men, most of us are told to move around with a sense of duty. We do what we need to do, right? We have responsibilities, we have duties. For women, they just want to be happy, and they will do whatever makes them feel happy in that moment. If it means they want to get close to you, if they want to call you in that moment, that is what is going to make them feel happy, they will do that. If they do not want to call you, or they want to ignore you in that moment, and that makes them feel happier, they will do that. So will that need or warrant an explanation? Not really. And this is just one of the things that I personally needed to learn, even when I was in my early 20s, understanding that women will go with the vibe, young women will go with the vibe, and they just want to be happy. Literally, girls just want to have fun, right? Whatever makes them feel happy in that moment, they will do it. So when you find that one moment they're very, in tune with you, you're really vibing, it's a big chemistry, then the next day they're just feeling and they don't want to reply to your text, they don't want to pick your calls, just like that. Nothing has happened. Just realize that this is how it is, that they will operate moment by moment. They don't operate from a sense of duty, especially at that stage. They just want to be happy, and they will do anything that makes them feel happy. So when they really attach to you in one moment, they really want to be around you, they're engaging you, very enthusiastic to be around you, then they pull away. Do not be surprised, because that's just the nature that they are in, especially in that season of finding themselves. Speaking of finding themselves, this goes to point number 3, is that these ladies are very impressionable, right? They are easily influenced. So the voices that speak to them really form how they will treat you and future relationships, especially in that setting, So, especially in this season, in this day and age, in this era, there's a lot of content on relationships, especially on TikTok, which is the most popular app among Generation Z's, Gen Z's, right? And these videos just get to present different scenarios whereby what happened, like some of these stories might or might not be true, but they are very engaging. These stories are very captivating. For example, there are these podcasts that people write in and they share their stories and they say, this is what happened to me, this is how I responded in my relationship. And now, with all these stories and skits and, funny videos and conversations that are recorded and uploaded online, we get to have different, even lingo coming up. Things like Delulu, is a Solulu. We have new content creators like Sowino, who is very popular right now in Kenya. And she's getting criticized every other day for doing all these things for her husband, cooking and even roasting meat outside in the backyard. And guys are wondering, the guy will still cheat, why do all of these things? And even situations whereby ladies are told, don't be that understanding girlfriend, he will still mess you up when he gets to where he wants to get you. He wants to, get and achieve what he wants to achieve, then really finds his type. So there's a lot of these narratives that are being pushed, maybe just to get engagement, but for those of us who are older and creators ourselves, we understand some of these, settings and narratives could be false and just meant to, get some good traffic. However, when you're younger, you may be more, welcoming of these narratives and accepting of these narratives that, it's true that I've had also someone else who went through the same and she was still left. So it gets to a point whereby you may join the bandwagon, or she may join the bandwagon to hate on people like Sowino, who's like, why is she doing all that for her husband? What is her husband doing for her? So you should really understand that ladies in this age range are easily moved by peer pressure. I think for most of them, adolescent traits are still there and they're still getting to know themselves. So they're picking different stimuli from their environment to form what they will work for them by seeing or what seems to be working from others on social media. So you should really understand that this can happen, and it reaches a point whereby you wonder how come all these ladies seem to be having the same ideologies. Well, they're exposed to the same stimuli, they're exposed to the same reality TV shows. They are all watching Love is Blind or Too Hot to Handle or any of these reality TV shows that are popular right now, and they're forming their relationship structures based on what they see and believe is successful, right? So understand that even personalities like Amber Ray, who really try and push their own love life to the public and show how a lady should be treated, but that's just her life and her choices. However, a lady who is younger and wants to emulate that personality will want to put herself in positions to get that kind of man, even though the likelihood of getting that kind of man, especially this day and age, is rare. However, she will believe that they are accessible, since someone like Amber Ray makes it so easy to find these millionaires who will just take care of her life fully. So understand that the people who speak to her, the kind of messages and narratives that she's receiving from social media and from reality TV really could form how she deals with relationships, especially at that season of her life. Number 4, we need to understand that just as masculinity grows in masculine presence, your masculine qualities grow in masculine presence. That's why guys, join sports teams and they build that culture of brotherhood and pride and teamwork and understanding hierarchy and understanding instruction and order. The same way femininity will thrive in feminine presence, when girl groups come together and these ladies who have a close sisterhood, especially when the close sisterhood is very positive, they have positive influence on each other, that they want to also be the best versions of themselves for their future, for their future generally, in whatever sphere. Could be career-wise, could be family, could be, relationally, spiritually, all that. That really helps form them into really high-quality women, And I believe that one of the most feminine women, or one of the best women, are the ones who have great, and I'm talking in this particular point, unlike the former one, whereby it's about stimuli from social media and the screen. This is the kind of people she deals with on a day-to-day basis, right? Who does she talk to? What are their attitudes towards different life concepts, as far as career, as far as life, as far as family? If it's toxic, then she will take up some toxic traits. If they are positive, then they will pick up some positive traits. Just like, guys, it actually even can come to a very practical space whereby the favorite relative a lady has will impact, or say the closest person in her family that she feels most closest to will impact how she views family, right? If she's close to that auntie who is happily married, has a good career and is enjoying her family life, then these values will really pour into her, because even as she visits and is in the presence of this older matriarch, she will get the kind of great qualities that will help her see her future relationships and her future family values in a very positive light. If it is the opposite, then it will show up in a negative light. So it's very important to understand that femininity can only grow in positive femininity. Just as we all know, the kind of company you keep really determines who you are. So especially in these very formative years, guys, let's be very aware of the company we keep, both men and women. And if you get to observe that the influences, I'm talking about the day-to-day people and the close friends that she's around, are not the kind to really even push her and encourage her to get the best and to, to be set up in the best relationships that will help her just bloom into herself, then that's a problem. That's a problem, because if her friends have never been in fruitful and happy relationships, then the likelihood that she will is very little. So that's one of the things that you need to understand. Now I'm on to the very last point. The best places to find high value women, what I alluded to in the beginning. Like I said, the stage performances, cultural stage performances. Now, art is a very feminine thing, right? It's expressed in very different ways. Just how we say the feminine is like Mother Nature. It's always changing. The expression is different. It's captivating. It helps you flow in your emotions and just draws you in. So especially when the plays and the stage plays are cultural and they have a cultural undertones, it shows that this lady will understand the context of this stage play, the context of this piece of art, and agrees to the virtues that it stands for and expresses, right? If you want a traditional African lady, she will definitely want to go and watch stage plays and movies and the kind of media that promote, the values that she grew up on and the values that she holds dear. So that makes her a conservative lady who you would want to be associated with when you are a conservative man, right? Secondly, when I talked about dance classes, tasteful dance classes, I'm not talking about, the very raunchy ones, of course. There are some dance classes I've been seeing happening all over the city that are around some upscale places that are very tasteful, that are decent. Like, if I was going to mention one, I think it's called, is it Kizomba? Is it? Or something like that. It's a Haitian salsa dance thing, right? And many women attend it in one of these very upscale hotels in Nairobi. That is a place whereby you will find quite feminine women who want to have fun in a very safe, in a very serene and tasteful place, and just get to and have a great time. Have a great time with great people, with music that is not, of course, does not send or portray or just share very raunchy values, but most of it is just instrumentals. But it's a hobby that makes her feel alive, makes her feel in a very safe, in a very subtle and tasteful and sensual way, right? You can be sensual in a tasteful way. So these dances allow her to be sensual and even explore her sensuality in a tasteful way, not in a very overt, aggressive way, right? Another thing is skating and the ski rink. We just opened, I think there was this establishment called Skate Park is it in Mombasa Road or somewhere? I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up. That's also another place that you could find great women, because it's a hobby that is usually associated with the middle to upper class women, and these are women who probably did this when they were younger and just want to relive that experience again, and of course enjoy it in a setting that is very clean, very drama free, and they can have a great time with it. So that is just a couple of things places whereby I personally have observed, have the kind of demographic that a man who wants to have a fruitful relationship with a woman in this city that they are most likely to meet, right? And the other places that you guys might know, I'm very open for you to share them in the comments and DM me at Guy Code Kenya. I could make a part 2 of this, but these are a couple of things that I just wanted to share with you guys so that you may get to evaluate and understand where best can I find the kind of woman who I would want to deal with and grow with and have a very productive relationship with. And that has been the episode for today. Like I said, I enjoy your feedback. Reach out to me at Guy Code Kenya, and those on my Telegram channel, Guy Code Kenya. I am available for direct inboxing for any feedback. And until next time, guys, we shall talk soon. Bye.
Guy Code with Rena Osware.